welcome to ET 105 today. At this point, we have finished two basketball court drawings and we are moving on to what I call Orthographic Lab 3. Orthographic Lab 3. Right now I am pulling up my screen from Autodesk, the AutoCAD 2016. This is a version that I downloaded. And before we start with Orthographic Lab 3, I wanted to jump way back to when we were working on Lab 2. I pulled up this screen here. This is a set of the 6 drawings, drawings 7 through 12, that we had you work on as a part of Lab 2, and then we took a break and did the 2 basketball courts. So if you will, please look at these drawings here, and you see the level of complexity that they have. We end on the slanted drawing, starting with some slants. And now we move into Ortho3, Orthographic Lab 3. Here are a list of 12 different drawings, 12 different isometric drawings of objects that that you can see. And let me go through the instructions on this one. First of all, if you have been struggling through the other Lab 1 and Lab 2 of the orthographic drawings, first note that this lab only includes a sum of these drawings. In this case, it's number 13, 16 through 22. So 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. So a total of 8 drawings. Even though there are 12, there are 8 drawings. And the instructions are pretty simple. They're just similar to what you did in Lab 2. First of all, you want to make front right drawings for those numbers. Secondly, make sure you include the 45-degree line that starts from the imaginary corner. So finding that corner, you'll get more practice on it. And then thirdly, make sure that you include text of your name, section number. In this case, it's the online course, and clean up any lines that shouldn't be there when you're done. And then, of course, the zoom extents that shows that you can show the full screen. Excuse me, I just edited my text there. Make sure you show the full screen there, and that's just a single button that you push. So let's go and look at these drawings a little closer. I will pull them up on a paint program that I have listed here. This program is one where I can draw on the screen that I'm looking at. Bear with me as I use my mouse. Not as proficient with the mouse drawing skills as with the pen or pencil. But one thing I wanted to help you with, a major help for drawing, especially as these get more complex, is when you look at an object, if you're having trouble trying to decide what it looks like, what it actually is, and I'm going to take number 17 here. See, I'm circling that. So you want to see what it looks like in actuality. Remember what I told you before, where you can take the drawing and draw a box as if you had to ship it somewhere in the mail through UPS. So draw a box around the object, one where the object would fit in perfectly right inside. So here I'm drawing this box if I had to ship this object. And of course, all of the blank space, you can see this area up here would have nothing in it. You'd probably fill with some kind of packaging material or peanuts, or whatever foam peanuts they have to put in there. So if you draw these these items, draw a box around them, it helps you. I'm going to start with number 19 now. It helps you to better see how and where the object or the parts of the object sit. So you see I'm going with this one here, drawing another box around it. And as I do that, even though my box isn't the most perfect drawing, you can see where this object sits. This one goes from the front, the left side is a full square there. But then on the right side, or right side of the front view, you see that it sort of comes down to a corner here, and it's 2 units high, 1 unit wide. So, and I'm going to do a third one. Let's see, I think this one is, let's take this one here, as if you had to do that drawing. Again, draw a box. And as I draw this box, ask yourself this, can you tell where the imaginary corners start from in these drawings? Remember, by definition, the imaginary corner is the corner that pokes out at you, even if there's nothing there in terms of the object material. For instance, this corner right there, that's the imaginary corner. That is in midair from this object. Same thing with this number 19, the imaginary corner is in midair, as well as 17 is in midair. Okay. So if you can find that imaginary corner, because I'm asking that you draw that 45-degree line starting from the imaginary corner. Now, let's go into draw some of these. I'll give you an example of some. Let's start with, let's just say number 13, 13 right here. And again, I'll quickly draw this, this corner, this square, you know, the box. Now notice that this object is actually slanted in just a little bit, so that there's what I could call an air gap right here, right in this space, right where I'm drawing, moving my mouse around. But let me set this up so that you can see it easier. Something like this. I will extend my length here just a little more. Okay. So from this this view, you can see on my screen here, and I'm going to draw object number 13. First of all, I'm going to keep my my drawing of the box around it. Hopefully that doesn't get in the way too much of how you see how it's supposed to be drawn. I'll start by drawing these lines. I'll make sure my ortho is on. Go about 20 down and 20 to the side. So escape out. So now I'm going to highlight this and make some copies. Now remember the copy command is here. You can copy like this, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to zoom out while I'm in the middle of this copy command. And go down 1. And then I'll turn off my ortho so I can go to the right, and 4, 5, 6. So as if I were drawing 6. I think this assignment requires 8, but just out of habit I'm showing you the technique there. You know just by looking at this drawing that it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the left to right, and then it's 2 high, 2 units high, and after that it is 4 units wide, which is how a lot of them are. So I'm going to make my dimensions here. Drawing my front side, we'll go 6, push enter, so that's my width, and then we'll go 4 high, change that to 4. Oh, excuse me, it's 2 high, 6, and then 2 high. Then we'll go do an offset of 2 high, go up there, so that's 2 high, and so that's my front there. I'm going to put a spacer of, let's do a spacer of 3, nice big space, and there, that space again is just to give you some buffer between the front and the top, and the front and right. Now I'm going to work on the top. Before I get to the top though, notice that this section here, I'm going to hatch it in just so you can see where I'm talking about exactly. That hatched in section represents the slanted face that you see right there in that area. And I'm going to draw on that just a little bit. That's the front section there, slanted area. Now I'm going to Control Z just a little bit to start disappearing or erasing some of that drawing. So now that you can see that, let's go back in here. I'll take off that face covering. Now let's draw the top section, the top there. Notice that from this point here, right there, that's the corner, right, to there, right there, that distance is 1. It's 1 from left, from the outer section moving in. And so I need to go here and make an offset of 1 to demonstrate what that looks like. That's right there. That area there, that hatched in area that I have right there, represents, from the top view, looking at this surface. It's slanted, so you can't see it all, but that's where it is. I'll go ahead and take that one out. Now the last, for the top view, the last part is going 1, 2, 3 in, 3 towards the back actually. So I'm going to offset, type 3, and go 3 back. So this area here, this hatched in area, it represents the top surface, this area there, as you see there. Not this lower part, but just this upper area there. Okay. So that's the front and the top listed there. I'm going to undo the hatch so we can get that off. Now let's move to the right side. And the right side is represented here in this area. Now it's 2 high. And from the bottom, it's 4 across, but from the top, it's 3, so it's 1 over. So let's go ahead and offset it because I know it's 4 across. 4, 4 coming across. And then from here to here is 3. So it's 1 over. So let me change that to offset this object there, and then make it 1 there. I'll draw a line that represents that. Now that line I just drew in there, I'm going to zoom in and show it. That line is representing this line right there. That line there. Okay. So I am actually mostly done with this drawing. The only thing left, a couple things, is to draw a 45-degree line from the imaginary corner. Now remember, the imaginary corner is the part that, looking at the front side, it's on the corner there. In this case, it's out in midair, and it goes out at a 45-degree angle. So remember the blue section in this numbering there, that shows the length. But if I tab, it goes back and forth between the length and the degrees. So I'm going to type 45-degree line, and escape. So I'm out of there. Now the last thing to do is to clean up. So I'm going to go to the trim command, right click here, and start to clean up all of this drawing there, there, and let's see, what else do we have? So there. Now it's time to clean up some of this last residual section there. One there. So I'm trying to clean out this area. It's not erasing, it's not trimming, I should say. So I need to come back with the erase command, and we'll go with the erase, and then we'll highlight everything I want to get rid of. I'm dragging it across here. Get rid of that and that. Okay, I think that is drawing number 13. There, it's a good representation. Now I'm going to go move my screen here. I'll come to this one, and this time I'm going to draw one of the objects that's a little more complex. The object that I'm going to draw this time is going to be number 21. 21 right there. Before I start, I will go ahead and draw a box, because again, I want you to kind of get that in your head. If you get stuck, you're not sure you understand what it's supposed to look like, draw that box as if you're packaging a cardboard box for the object there. And once that's done, you can hopefully start to see where things need to lie. Of course, this is the imaginary corner. So in this case, what I recommend is, let's say you're starting with the front, is start taking out sections of the drawing. In this case, I'm going to go with that front face, and do that part here. Don't worry so much about the right side of that front view. Just worry about this little piece there. You know, it's 1 unit across and it's 4 high. So first of all, let's get the perimeter of everything. You know, this drawing again is 6 units wide. In fact, I don't know if you noticed, but all of them, or a lot of them are. And this one is 4 high, so I'm going to do this one up to 4 high. Okay, so I have the area of the front face is going to be right in here somewhere. Now let's go to the 1 over from there. So I have this hatched in area. I'll hatch that in. That represents the face right there, right there. Now this next part gets a little more complicated. Notice that this area right there, that corner, or so to speak, it's 1 down from the top. That's important to know. So in order to signify where that goes, make your offset unit of 1, take the top side and go down 1. And that means, what that means is that this little corner here, right there, that is represented off of this drawing there. Okay, so I'm going to take the hatch off so you can see that hopefully a little clearer. And then this line from there goes all the way to the right. It goes across 5 units. Now you say 5 because you know there's 1 there and the whole thing is 6. So it goes across 5 units and it ends right there, right at that point. So it starts higher, ends at, so it starts at 1 from the top. But from here, you notice, if that's the top on this side, that's, if you go down 1, it takes you to this level. You go down a second 1, it takes you 2 down. So it's 1, 2 down. So from here, it starts there and it goes down 1 unit. And what that means is, come back to this, is you need to offset another 1 down there. and then take the line, make sure your ortho is off, and connect that right there. Okay, so this line here on your drawing is represented of what's going on with this black line there, black one there. So, okay, so that's getting to the front. Now we look at it and say, all right, are we getting close? And the answer is yes. The way you know that you're close is you see this bottom section of the drawing. You see how it is actually resting at the base of the imaginary cardboard box, and yet when you go here, it is also resting at the base. So if it starts here at the base, runs, even though it looks like it runs in a little bit, that line there, you can signify or pretty well know that that line is running along the whole base of the object. In other words, it's right here. It's right there. Okay. So this here, although it might look a little complex, a little difficult to grasp, that is the front part completed. It's not cleaned up, but it is completed. Now let's go to work on the top part. Okay, so I'm going to put a spacer of, let's do a spacer of 1 here, 1 up, and 1 there. So we are starting with this line here, this line, and that represents the line coming along the drawing there. Okay, so we know it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 up, or 4 in, I should say. Let's go 4 in, draw that up. So that is, I guess you could say that this, this hatched in area there, that hatched in area represents the surface right there, Now I'm going to undo a lot of the drawings on this one here, just so you don't lose too much track of what we're trying to accomplish there. Okay, hopefully that helps there. So I'll erase that hatch. Now again, if you look here, we have a section that goes in a little bit from that left side, and then from the right side. Now, one thing to point out on this this third set of drawings is a lot of these lines, not only do they fall right, some of these lines, they fall right on the border. And if you really look at this, you probably realize that this line right there is actually half a unit in. And same as the other side, it's half of a margin or a measurement in. So let's call it 0.5. Call it 0.5. Come back to here. So from the top view, take that and go 0.5. And also 0.5 there. Okay. And then they go inward until you get to this set of this rectangle, which also seems to fall right along the midpoint of that right side looking face. Well, if that's the midpoint, then you know that from this section there in is going to go 1, 2, and for the right side it's 1, 2. So this set of square, this rectangular area, erase this out a little bit, is of course it looks like it's 1 unit wide and 2 units high, but it's split right down the middle. So if it's split right down the middle, it's kind of like the basketball court drawing. You have to assume that you need a reference line right down the middle. So I'm going to make one. I know this is 4 units tall, so I'm going to make one that's half of that, which is 2 units tall. So that this reference line is just there, that one right there, just there to help us figure out where to draw that that number 21 midpoint. Then from here, I'm going to go half a unit up, 0.5 up, and then 0.5 down. And then at this point, I don't even need that middle one anymore, the one reference line I just made, because I now have these other 2 sets of lines that were needed to draw that face there. Okay, so I have that. Now it's time to connect some lines so we can kind of see where that goes. All right, from that corner, we go up to this corner, and then I'm going to draw a line again. Type in L. And from this corner, we go right there. Okay, and then I'm going to quickly color in a whole area of this drawing so you can see what that represents in terms of drawing numbers 21 there. All right, hopefully you can see that. Okay, I'll erase that and we'll come to the right side now. This is the right area. Now from the right, you know, again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, just like a lot of these drawings. So let's go offset, type in 4, come across there, that's 4 across. It's going to be right in this area, in that area. We know, again, looking at the front side, that a lot of this is sitting on the base. It's pretty flat. We have a about midpoint. I'm going to put a halfway mark here, so 2 across. Midpoint across, we have this line, which now represents the center of there. So again, we're working on the right side, and we need a rectangle that's 2 units high, 1 unit wide, and it splits right down the middle of that midpoint. I have a hard time getting right there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put that in. Trying to undo this. Oops. There. Okay. So again, we'll do an offset of half a unit, 0.5, going this way, half a unit going that way. Now I can get rid of that middle one. And then I have this rectangular area right there. Highlight that for you. That rectangular hatched in area represents the one right here, that base piece there. Okay, so we have that in place. I'm going to keep that there for just a little bit. Then the next step is to measure off from the top view. Let's say this line represents the line up there, and it goes 1 down. So I'm going to take that offset 1 down, 1, and go down. Oh, excuse me. All right, so let's take this top section right there, and that represents the top area, the top line right there. Notice how it goes 1 down before it gets to that lower section there. So if I take this top one and offset, go 1 down, it's actually already there. It's this 1 unit down there, so I don't need to draw that. It's this line there. And from there, that's where that line represents this lower line right there. See that? Hopefully you can see it. So if we go a half a unit in and a half a unit in from the left and the right, what we end up with is an offset of 0.5. Come in, and then I'm going to draw this in for you, like that. And then draw another line, type L, draw that in right there. Now, it may be a little hard to see, but this drawing is about ready to be cleaned up. So let's start with this one. I'm going to go to trim, right click on it. First, let's get all of this extra stuff out of the way. Even though I've done this before, it's still something I have to be very careful. See, I almost erased something that I wasn't supposed to. I want to erase this part. Oops, I accidentally got out of the trim command. So I'm left clicking here, right click here, and come back and trim out these sections there. So I'm slowly taking out bits by bits as I start to carve out what this section looks like. Notice that some of the parts of it do not erase, so I'm going to come back and erase them. I'm just highlighting them to so that they know they are about ready to be erased. I push enter. Oh, I accidentally took a little extra off, so I'm going to undo that piece. Oh. So again, coming back, I will trim out this part, and there, and then I will come and erase this part here, and here. That should erase out what we wanted to get rid of. Notice here this right side, this is the right side, represents that right side there. While I'm still in the erase command, I'm going to go ahead and erase a whole section. Oops. While I'm still in the, I'll go in the erase command. I'll take out all of this. Need to trim some more here. So let's work on the top now. Work on the top here. We have sections there, and a lot of this part is just looking over at your drawing and saying, all right, does that need to be there? I think this needs to be taken out. This here goes. Let's take out this one and this one. I don't think that's part of the drawing there. Push enter. And it looks like I can trim out this part here, that part there, and a little more there. And so what I'm left here with the top view, and that is shown here on the little drawing. Okay, so I think I'm done with that. Then I can come back here, and I think I'm still in the trim command. Come back and start to trim out more and more. Come back and erase some. And looking this over, I can see that it looks like I'm pretty close. I think I've got everything for this drawing. The last part, of course, is to draw that 45 line. Now, I think I showed you this before, but just in case, I'm going to show you again. If you make sure, when you're drawing this line, first of all, if you type in OSNAP, O-S-N-A-P, and then it opens up a setting for your drafting. And here you have a series of different points, whether they're tangent or extension points or quadrant points, points that show up as green little X's and circles and things on your drawing as you're ready to draw a line. Now, I usually keep all of these, I select them all, keep them selected, and as they are selected, I can come back, and as I come to draw a line, it helps me, see the green there following along my crosshairs. It helps me to find edges. That's a midpoint right there where it turns to a little triangle. It turns to an end. If I want to find the midpoint of this line, you can see where it changes right there, the triangle. And then it goes back to an X. And that X there, that greenish X, looks like a tangent. So I'm in the line command. Now if I go here, let's say I'm trying to find that 45-degree line. Notice how it draws out a dotted line there. As I go far enough out, it shows me where that's listed. But then if I stay not too far, don't get too far away, I come back to this point at the base, the right side of that front view, and I move up. Notice that it links up where the two lines meet, right there, right there. If I click on that, remember I'm in the line command, and then type tab, back and forth, type 45. I'll get a 45-degree line based off of that. Now the alternative to doing it that way, let's say that you didn't have that there, would be to take a line, draw it out here, make sure your ortho is on the line, draw another line this way, that way, and then draw a third line right there, turn off the ortho, and make sure that that line is at a 45-degree angle, okay, and then come back and trim out what you had just drawn. So trim out this one, a little more work. So hopefully if you want to try that other system, you can save a little time. I'll have to select this and this. Okay, you can select this and delete it out. Now I have done 2 of the drawings, and I will say this one is one of your more challenging labs that you will work on during this course. But you can work through them. Some of these objects you may not get it all. Just do your best to turn them in, and we will grade them and kind of give you some pointers as we can. So good luck.